Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Stephanie Gale and I'm going to tell you a story about the time I passed out during my driving lesson. So I live in California, and in California the law is after you get your permit you have to have 6 hours of behind the wheel driving lessons with an instructor, and you have 3 lessons, each one's 2 hours. So when I got my permit, my driving, you could do different companies and whatever, and I did the same ones that my siblings did, and it was kind of sketchy, not gonna lie. So the first time I took it, it was fine. The car was kind of sketchy. They pick you up at your house, and it's one of those things where there's 2 driving, 2 steering wheels, 2 sets of brakes, so they could drive from the other side of the car and control it in case anything happened. And so they have the normal side on the left, and then on the right it looked like somebody had taken a saw and sawed the dashboard and into the glove compartment to stick a steering wheel in there. You could see it was a hole, and it wasn't a clean cut hole. It was jagged and not even and not clean, you know what I mean? So that's what I mean by sketchy. That's the first thing I noticed. So the first time was fine. The story begins my second time. My lessons were we would do the same route each time, and we would stop at the same gas station each time. And I know it's this each time because both my siblings did the same exact thing. And we would stop at the gas station. The guy was really nice. It seemed like the driving instructor and the person who worked at or owned the gas station, they were friends or they knew each other or something. And so the driving instructor would always get tea out of his trunk, the tea bags. He had so much stuff in his trunk. He would get tea and he'd have his own cup, and then we'd go to the gas station. He'd buy us a drink. You could get whatever you wanted. One drink, and he would go to the bathroom or the back room. It was weird, and make tea or something. It was really weird. And so the second time I drove us to that gas station and parked the car, and as I went to close the door, my thumb got stuck. You know how you close a door on your finger, and it hurt really bad, and so I closed it on my thumb, and out of reaction I kind of just pulled it out. I don't know. And so I didn't really react. I didn't make it obvious. My driving instructor didn't notice, but it really hurt. It kind of felt when you stub your toe. But I didn't want to make anything of it. I have a high pain tolerance, so I was kind of just shaking off my hand, it'll be fine, whatever. And then we go inside to the gas station. He does his thing, goes to the back, whatever. I'm picking my drink, and then all of a sudden I just feel really hot, and my vision starts to kind of blur. And this may sound weird, but I'm kind of used to my vision blurring because we'll get into this later on in a different story, but my vision blurs from time to time and it goes black for a little while. I know it's weird. I don't know if it's normal. Anyway, so I just thought I was having one of those times, and it goes in and it comes out, It doesn't happen that often. So I thought, you freak out, but I just kind of calmed myself down, took some deep breaths, and, it was gonna be fine. But I felt hot. And I leaned, the last thing I remember is I was leaning over the counter, trying to catch my breath and calm down, because at this point I couldn't see anything. And then that's the last thing I remember. So obviously I fainted. I don't remember falling. I don't remember anything like that. I don't know how long I was out for, how they found out, what happened. I have no idea. So the first thing I remember, coming out of it, I still couldn't see, and I felt a foreign, something being put up to my mouth, and and I was very confused. I didn't know what was going on. I had really no control, and it hit my tooth, and I felt like it was like the top of a water bottle. I think they were trying to get me water, but I couldn't see, and I didn't really know like what was going on. And then I don't think I drank water, and then I passed out again for like a couple minutes. This is what I remember more of. And then I came to again where I could finally kind of see. Things were blurry, but I could see like light and faces, and the guy that worked at the gas station and my driving instructor were like, you know, like in movies where like people like wake up and there's like people like over you, and they're like, oh, you know, and they were giving me water, and I was drinking the water. And then the driving instructor, you know, like they both helped me get up, and like the first thing the driving instructor says, "Are you okay? Are you tired? Are you sleepy?" I don't know, like why would I be, I don't know. So I was really out of it. He walks me to the car. I think we're leaving, like going straight to my house. No. He puts me in the car, tells me to call my dad. He locks me in the car and goes back into the gas station. And I feel like I was in there for like 30 to 45 minutes because it was a long time. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if they were talking about like how to handle it, whatever. The driving instructor didn't tell me to call, like he didn't call my parents, he told me to call, and I was really out of it, so I did what they said and I called, and my dad answered the phone, and I was like, you know, like so out of it, and I was like, I passed out. Like that's all I said. I was like, Dad, I passed out. I was kind of out of breath. And he's, first thing he does is yell at me and says, "This is what you get for not eating breakfast every day. This is what I'm telling you about, blah, blah, blah." And I was just like, okay, bye. You know, I hung up the phone. That's like, what am I gonna do? And then I just waited there. I waited there. It felt like for such a long time. And then, like I said, like 30 to 45 minutes. And then the guy comes back and gets in the car, and he asks me again. He's like, "Are you okay? Are you tired? You look sleepy. What happened? You fell asleep." I fell asleep. I fell asleep. Okay. And so then he asks me, "Do you want to drive home?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want to drive home. You know, I can't." And so he's like, okay. So he drives me home. He drops me off. He doesn't drop me off and walk me up to my house. He drops me off across the street, watches me cross the street, goes up the driveway, up the stairs to the porch, and my parents then realized, oh, she passed out, something happened, blah, 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 whatever. So then they were worried, and the driving instructor drove away. And that was my second to last lesson, and my next lesson was the last one. And he was like, "Are you okay? Are you sleepy?" Again, making sure I'm not gonna fall asleep. Oh, and a couple of my friends had the same driving instructor. I don't know why you would go back to them. After I told them the story, it's the same instructor. Two of my friends had the same guy, and I told them, I was like, you need to ask them about me, like ask him, because I doubt this has happened like a lot. And so they did, and he would just go like, oh, you know, like just oh, and like shake his head and not really say much. I mean, the guy was really nice. It was nice of him to buy us like a drink from the gas station every single time. I think it was just more like kind of careless for him not to call my parents, make me sit in a car locked in there for 30-45 minutes after I passed out, and not tell my parents what happened, not walk me up to the house, you know, drop me off across the street. So there's that. That's the story of when I passed out during one of my behind the wheel driving lessons. So yeah, if you enjoyed the story and you'd like to see more, please like this video and subscribe. It would really help me out a lot, and thank you for watching. Bye.